This is the injury report presented by NYU Langone Health. Yankees reliever Jonathan Loaisiga is getting closer and closer to getting back on the mound after getting his UCL repaired with an internal brace through surgery back in April. So are we going to see a version of the 2021 Loaisiga, or injuries going to keep him from the mound again this season? Let's talk with Dr. Dennis Cardone, Chief of Primary Care Sports Medicine at NYU Langone, to get some information on the return of J-Lo in the Bronx. Doc, how you doing, man? We're not talking Jennifer Lopez here. Jonathan Loaisiga. First and foremost, how you been, man? Happy New Year. I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, good. Happy New Year. So great to see you always.
All right, so before we talk about him returning to the Bronx, obviously he's got to go down to spring training. But I would love to get some information on this UCL repair because, I mean, year after year, we're hearing more about baseball players getting this repair with an internal brace, though. So there's a lot of people watching this, listening to you right now. What's this procedure, and what's the rehab like for a guy like Jonathan Loaisiga?
So most people are familiar with the Tommy John surgery. You take that UCL ligament that's really not working well, and you borrow a tendon from elsewhere and replace it. This is repairing the ligament itself. So now you're taking a ligament that's torn and you're repairing it, usually at the origin where it starts, or and repairing it to the bone. And using internal brace, what we call a collagen internal brace, to help enhance the healing process. The beauty of the procedure, everything moves along faster. So rehabilitation starts faster, throwing program starts faster, back on the mound faster. And it also looks like returning to their previous play, being the same thrower that they were, also is more likely with this procedure compared to a Tommy John surgery.
Well, the Yankees must be loving that because there's a reason why last month they signed him to a one-year deal with the option year in 2026. I mean, when we're talking about timeline, he had that surgery back in April. Pitchers and catchers report in about 2 weeks, so that'll be 10 months post-op. What's his first day and, I guess, spring training experience going to be like? Like, how much of it is rehab versus getting him game ready?
For UCL repair, 10 months is quite a significant amount of time. So rest assured, he's already been doing a significant amount of throwing. His rehab started quite early, and they're taking their time, which they should be doing with him. So at 10 months, when he's starting his spring training, rest assured, he's all ready to start throwing pretty hard from the mound already. But given his past history, we know they're probably going to bring him along a bit slower.
And that's great news for both the organization, fan base, and the players, because we talked about the Yankees, who their starting five rotation is pretty solid. Now you get Loaisiga in that in as a closer or reliever. That's definitely going to help that bullpen or just this team overall, especially if he could get back to his 2021 form when he was, I guess people would say, one of the best relievers in the American League. But, Doc, we see how injuries, especially multiple injuries, can set players back, not just in baseball, but just in all sports. When he's back to being 100% and they put him out there on the mound for his first game, first inning, could we see a version of the 2021 Loaisiga this season?
I think yes. I think we're going to see that player that we remember, like you said, back in 2021, especially given the UCL repair. When we look at our literature, these throwers do quite well. A high percent get back to that same thrower that they were prior to the surgery, prior to injury.
We see athletes that continue to get hurt from time to time or season to season. Talk to us about what the Yankees training staff could be thinking in terms of keeping him healthy throughout the entire season when he does return.
You know, given his history with so much injury and not making it through a season, I mean, we know that's foremost on their mind. So they're really going to take it slow, probably use him more sparingly, especially in the early part of the season. Really try to get him through the whole season, right? So if that means using him a little bit less than their other relievers in the bullpen, sure, right? That makes sense. Let's try to keep him healthy for the whole season.
In 2021, he had a 2.17 ERA, and that boy was on fire. He had the Bronx on fire. $1 million question here, though, Doc, because I'm sure we both have friends who play in like weekend baseball and softball leagues. Let's say one of our weekend warriors suffer that same injury as Loizaga. Would you recommend a UCL repair with an internal brace, or would their road back to health be different because they're not a pro baseball player?
It really depends on the type of UCL injury. There's a couple of varieties of
Okay.
types of injuries. So some injuries are not appropriate for this repair at all, and they only should have the Tommy John procedure. But in that population that can have this procedure, this would be the choice. Earlier back to rehab, earlier back to sport.
Okay, I think I'm gonna just stay in my beer in hand kickball league there, Doc. After that one, thanks for hopping on with us.
Hey, great to always be here. Thank you.